lot of new real estate investors want to eventually scale their business, but they don't really know when they should hire that first person. In today's video, I'm going to talk about my personal trifecta, the 3 signs that indicate when it's a good time to hire someone for my real estate investing business. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Justin Wrong, and I've helped hundreds of people make money in real estate. So the first sign is being overwhelmed. If you find yourself in your business start to be overwhelmed with any of the positions that you do when you're running a business, because when you run a business, often or pretty much most of the time, you have multiple hats. Like, you're doing multiple things. Like for my real estate investing business, when I was starting, I was doing all the cold calling, I was doing the managing the transactions, I was doing the selling. Like I was doing a lot of different things, and it came a point in time where I was starting to get overwhelmed with my cold calling, for example. So, because I was doing all these cold calls myself, multiple hours a day, 3 to 6 hours a day cold calling, it's a lot of time. And over time, when I actually got some deals from my cold calling, that's kind of when I was kind of busy with my time trying to manage these house flips and these projects, where I would find myself not cold calling as much. So I was starting to really get overwhelmed. And that's really one of the main reasons why I hired those cold callers, is because a lot of my time could not be spent cold calling because I was having to manage this project, like all these different house flips. That's kind of one of the signs that you're ready to hire, is when you just start to feel like something is pulling your time and attention away from something that you need to be doing. The second sign is to hire something out when you're just not good at something. One of the things that I hired out was actually my editors. And I realized, yeah, this is part of my content creation team, but my content and my social media, like this video you're watching now, it's part of my marketing for my real estate business. So like I get deals for my real estate business from my social media, I get private money, I get people to hire really easily. So this is actually part of my real estate business. And I hired out the editing because I sucked at it. I think myself personally with these YouTube videos, I edited for maybe a month or 2. And I found myself, one, I was also being overwhelmed. It was too much because I didn't have my time and attention on the actual real estate and getting deals. And this was because a lot of my time was being spent on editing when I didn't really know how to edit. I just kind of used iMovie, and I tried my very best. I didn't really add music or add like fancy subtitles. I just like crop stuff and then put it on the internet. Like that's all I did, and I did that for a month or 2, and I was like, man, this is too hard. Like it was hard for me because I just didn't have the expertise. I wasn't good at it, and it took me so much longer than someone with expertise would. So that was why I hired the editors, and ever since I got some editors, it's been so much easier. A lot of my time and attention could be just focused on filming content and then getting deals. So that was something that I hired out, and this is something I recommend for you. So if you find yourself being bad at something in your real estate investing business, maybe not right away, or maybe right away, I don't know, it kind of depends on your personal situation, but you can hire out, and don't be afraid to hire something out. There's a lot of ways to hire people without having to pay them like an hourly wage or a salary. Like you can pay people commission. Like don't shy away from that. And you can also hire people part-time. So you can hire people, maybe pay them an hourly wage, but just part-time, or you can pay them commission where you don't have to pay them every single week or bi-weekly or however you want to pay them. Because the only tricky part about that is that you have to have people who are on board for the overall vision. So you have to sell them on the vision of like, why would they join you and be commission only if you're not doing any business? And if you're not doing any business, then you might not be able to hire someone. Like if you have no business experience, no nothing, might be a little bit more difficult, to be honest. But once you kind of start doing stuff and like doing business, not just being in business, but doing business, that might be a pretty good indicator of like, you know what, if you're not good at something, just hire it out. Try to find someone you can pay commission, or just try to pay someone part-time. Like those are probably the easiest solutions. The third sign that indicates you're ready to hire someone is when you fully understand the position you're trying to hire for. So for example, in my real estate investing business, I hired out some real estate MLS acquisitions agents. So these are just real estate agents who make offers for me every single day on the MLS to get deals. And I did this myself for a long time, like over 3 years. So I kind of created my own system to understand the position and what it took exactly to get MLS deals. So I would make consistent offers on the MLS. So I'd be the one at first to reach out to these real estate agents and say, hey, would your seller consider an offer of this? Most of the times it's no, and I developed my system for following up with them every single month until that seller sold to someone else or sold to us. And even like analyzing the deals and crunching the numbers to figure out what's the max offer, how to estimate repair cost, how to get the ARVs. Like I taught all this stuff to my MLS agents because I fully understood the position. But here's the interesting about these 3. There's a reason why I call them a trifecta, because you have 3 things. You have being overwhelmed, you have being not good at something, and then you have fully understanding the position. So with those 3 things, how I determine if it's really something that I'm ready to hire out for is I want to have at least 2 of those things. Now, let me kind of give you an example from all of these. So like my first example with the cold callers, and why did I hire a cold caller to help me cold call? And the reason was because one, I was overwhelmed, so that was one of the things, and two, I fully understood the position. The third one was like not being good at it. Like I was good at it. I was good at cold calling, I was good at selling people because I was good at listening to people really and understanding people's problems and trying to help, like I was coming from a genuine place. So I had two of them though. I was overwhelmed and I fully understood it. So at that point I was like, okay, I'm ready to hire this out. Same thing goes for hiring an editor. Like maybe they're a little bit different. Number one, I was definitely overwhelmed, and two, I sucked at it, so I wasn't good at it. The third one, I did kind of fully understand the position, like I understood what it entailed, I just wasn't good at it. So I had two of the things. And then the third thing I hired out, what I mentioned before, was my MLS acquisitions agents, the people to make offers for me every single day. Now, one, I definitely fully understood that position because I did it for 3 years. So I understood what I was doing, and it was starting to overwhelm me because I was trying to have my time and attention being put on creating content like this for you because I really enjoy this. So that was starting to overwhelm me. So I had two of those three in the trifecta. So if you're thinking about hiring for any position, like ask yourself, does that position fit in this trifecta? Like, do you have two of those things? Are you overwhelmed? Are you bad at something? And do you fully understand the position? If you have two of the three, in my opinion, I think it's a great time to hire. Also, if you want help to grow a real estate business, click on the link in the description for a free strategy session. Peace.